Hello everyone, my name's Sian Stevens. I'm the Vice President of Melbourne Business Network, and we're very excited that yet again this year we get to celebrate everything that's amazing about business across Melbourne and Victoria. And to do that, we use our Melbourne Business Network Awards, and I'm delighted to be joined again this year by the directors of Northbridge Capital, Bradley Birchall and Basil Tambanis. Thank you so much for joining me, gentlemen. I'd love to hear what's been going on with Northbridge Capital since we last spoke. Bradley.
Thanks, Sian, and it's good to be sponsoring the award again this year, and thank you very much for that fantastic introduction. We've been pretty busy this last 12 months on assisting our clients with their technology operations, technology development, and with capital raising. I suppose that's probably a good segue into a little bit about our background and our passion around the innovation and the technology that we see in a lot of small businesses and startups in Melbourne. And that's really one of the key reasons why we're sponsoring this award again. I think this is the fourth year we'll have done this. And that's really around helping these small innovative companies and startups around the whole country, but more importantly around Melbourne itself. Our focus is very much around assisting companies with their capital raisings and providing them corporate advice and technology oversight, and just really helping them bridge that skills gap and the knowledge gap that they've got.
That sounds amazing. I think, we're hearing so much about business, particularly about small business at the moment across the news and the media, and what we can be doing to support small businesses moving forward. Basil, can you tell me what are the greatest challenges you're seeing right now that are being faced by new businesses and startup businesses?
Yes, certainly. Look, at the early stage and at growth level, we're seeing a lot of founders who have come out of enterprise or are looking to bring a product to market. And for them, it's really first time. It's uncharted territory or uncharted waters for them. And they lack the skills and experience and the funding to commercialize their products. And typically, a professional in one job has one hat to wear. In an early stage business, you're wearing many hats. You have to be multidisciplinary, and it normally takes twice as long and twice as much money to get where you think you want to go. So I think that's the first challenge for most founders. And secondly, founders really don't understand the journey in front of them and what's required at each stage of the business's development. And whether that's, we'll look at some of the challenges from ideation to product design and development, finding product market fit, and getting the hands or the product in the hands of the customers and understanding the go-to-market strategy. So all of these things are whole disciplines within themselves. And as a founder or a small team, you need to be across all of these things. So that skills gap that Brad was mentioning, that's where we jump in and assist where they may be weak. We can plug those gaps with our skills. So we really help them develop a roadmap and a plan to move forward so that they can join the dots. And that's a great challenge for most people. And once that's laid out in front of them, they can go forward in what's a straight line as opposed to a meandering river to get to where they need to go. And lastly, product market fit is an issue for nearly all companies that we see because it's difficult to validate a product in a large target market that will provide investors a return on investment. So we do a lot of work there because without product market fit, you're going to have the best product in the world, but if you can't sell enough of it, it is a major issue. And that's where we do our modelling work, financial modelling, validate a lot of the assumptions and double check, what those assumptions are. So they're the key challenges that come up again and again, and we're pretty good at navigating our clients through those issues.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I guess that was going to be another sort of try to understand how you can prepare somebody to go through that process and give them a realistic understanding. Bradley, did you have anything to add around the challenges right now that people are facing in that preparation process and the realistic understanding of what that looks like?
Yeah, sure, Sean. I suppose the basis of the process in getting people ready to raise capital is very much aligned with how we sort of approach it ourselves. And I think the first component of that is for people to actually understand where they sit now as far as investment readiness. And we undertake that in different phases. And so we normally break up capital raising into 3 phases for companies. And we've found that that's usually the most successful approach. And so that first phase that needs to be undertaken is that assessment of where they are now as far as their preparedness for capital raising and investment readiness. And that first component might take a company, or normally would take us anything from 4 to 6 weeks to assess a company and go through that process and sort of map out an action plan for them and what they then need to undertake next. And then that next phase 2 is executing that action plan. And we find that most companies normally take anything from 3 months to about 6 months to actually be then ready for the third phase, which is the actual capital raising. And so what we do throughout that second phase is assist a company or let them run off and do it themselves, which some companies like to do, and assist them through putting those pitch decks together, all that information and all that knowledge. And so to give you an example, every company can't be good at everything. It's an impossibility. And so what we find is that a company might be really good at the technology side of things, but not so good at the marketing and the financial side of things. And so we might identify that in phase 1 and then help a company work with that in phase 2, so that then in phase 3, it's actually just purely raising the capital. And so that's the sort of approach we take, and that's what we find works well for most companies. And it's very rare that we see even more evolved companies that might have been in business for a number of years have all of this stuff right. And so that's what we focus on, and also introducing and helping people out with other areas and advisors that might be able to help them out in the law, tax, research and development, or even the high-tech software development side of it.
Yeah, I think that sounds amazing for businesses, and I would wholeheartedly agree. The sort of times when I get called into business when they've had rapid growth, but they haven't necessarily done it through mapping a process and following a map, or even putting KPIs and different strategies in place. They've just had a fantastic product, they've put it out to market, and as a consequence, they've had rapid growth. But at every point in every business, you need to look at, okay, so what does next steps look like, and actually map that out and have a realistic expectation as to how and what you have to do to get you there.
Yeah, it's all about that expectation and the time frame. It's always longer than you think. So if you think you want to raise capital and you think you want to get ready, you should probably be starting it now.
That's amazing, and clearly they need to be speaking to you guys at Northbridge Capital. So thank you so much for your time today and helping us understand the sort of things that new businesses are facing right now, particularly for anybody who's going to be brave enough to actually step into that space. That's amazing. We'd love to hear from you. If you think you're a worthy recipient of the Melbourne Business Network Award for New Business 2022, then you need to be on our website. You need to be finding out more about it. So check us out at www.mbn.org.au awards, and we can't wait to hear from you and promote and celebrate your success. Basil, Bradley, thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you soon, because it won't be long until we'll be celebrating together.
That's right. We're looking forward to seeing some of these awesome companies. Thank you, Sian.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you.